Hello and welcome to the Cat Scrappiness YouTube channel. Katie here, and today I've got a fun fall card for you. This I created using the Pine Tree and Icicle Duo border die to create a stencil. And similar to mimicking the new layering dies that are out, or layering stencils rather, that are out on the market, to be able to replicate the, pine tree stencils that are out there right now. So I've got the Happy Fall die as well. I'm not going to be using the shadow with that in this video. I've got some hot press watercolor paper, and I've got fossilized amber, wild honey, and fired brick distress inks. So this is the stencil material. This is Mylar. It's 7.5 mil. This is a 15 pack of 12 by 12 sheets that I picked up at Amazon. This die cut beautifully on this Mylar. I did have another die that I had tested a while back that did not, so I thought I'd test it today, and if it didn't work, the alternative is to use acetate or laminating sheets and things like that. Pre-laminate, if you're going to use the laminating sheets, you want something that's going to be pretty durable and more rigid and not so flimsy. If I had to recommend a size, I'll throw a couple different ones, the 7.5 and maybe a smaller mill, a lower mill for the Mylar in the description box, because just in case, I didn't pick up a smaller mill yet, a lower mill yet, but I would recommend, maybe a 6, 5, 4 might be a little flimsy. Acetate, go with the embossable acetate, the Lawn Fawn and the Judikins. Those are much more rigid and thicker and heavier weight. So you're going to get some durability, and they're not going to be so flimsy. Moving on. So you've seen that I just used some fossilized amber first. Now I'm coming in with some wild honey for this particular color combination, and using our die cut as a stencil. And so I'm just going to come down using each color. I'm going to show you these two, and then we're going to skip ahead to adding in the other colors. Now, I want to point out that when you wipe your stencil off in between colors, go in a downward motion. That way you won't bend the tines, and you'll get a nice crisp image of those trees. So here I'm just come through, and I'm going to take the stencil and fill in the middle. So in some cases I will use just the ink that's on my brushes and come in with the wild honey and the fossilized amber and fired brick to fill in and get some gradation of color in between the layers. And that way it fills in some of those open spaces and gives us some depth and the illusion of obviously more trees. This card style would be perfect for any masculine card. So you could do it for birthday, Father's Day, anniversary, and of course you can change up the color combos to coordinate with whatever type of masculine card you're looking to create. What I love about this is that I'm sure most of you, because this die's been out for a little while, I'm sure that most of you have this particular die. It's affordable and it's a twofer, really a threefer, because you can create pine trees, you can create icicles for the winter, and then of course now you can create a stencil to do both of those things as well. So here again, I'm just coming in. Now I'm going to come in with some wild honey over the top of that fired brick that I have there at the bottom, and that's going to kind of orangey it up, and so it's not quite so red. And I think it's perfect for fall. And then I'm just taking the blender brushes with the ink that's remaining and kind of just blending those colors on. Now I did trim this panel down to 4 by 5 1/4, and I do that by taking 1/8 of an inch off of each side. So when I take 1/8 of an inch off, I rotate it around and take 1/8 of an inch off on the other side. That's going to keep everything on the top and bottom and on the sides equal, so you're not taking big chunks off and then you don't have everything even and lined up the way that you wanted. Now I took again the remaining inks that was on each of the brushes and started in with the fossilized amber, then the wild honey and the fired brick over the top of the watercolor paper to soften up that white so that it wasn't quite so stark. And so now I've got some Barely Art glue, and I've die cut our Happy Fall die with some Gina K's dark chocolate cardstock. And I didn't layer this up. Normally, you know me with word dies, I like to add, 3-4 layers, but I just kept it very simple. I did not add any perfect pearls for any shimmer, and I didn't add any gems. I just wanted to keep this simple and let the background and word die be the focal for this today. And then we're going to come in. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you guys. So I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times when I die cut words, I get these little shards of paper that are loose on the die cut. And to take care of that, I glue my words down. And then that blue brush that I'm using right now, I got from Hobby Lobby, is very stiff. And I'll link everything up down below so that you'll be able to see it and be able to go find it in the stores. But it's very stiff, and I use that and really burnish and brush the heck out of those words, and that gets all those loose shards off. And then I take the acrylic Zen brush that is just an acrylic paint brush that I picked up at Michael's and clear everything away. And that gets rid of those little fine shards of hairy cardstock that sometimes happen with die cutting. So finishing it up, we've got an A2 side folding card base, again, Gina K's dark chocolate, and that is going to finish up the card, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you're notified each time we upload a video. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video.